Denny.
Your dreams have now been fulfilled. You're rocking with the best. It's your boy, Denny Blanco, alongside Randy J. Cruz. This is It's in the Game podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it.
That's right, man. You find Denny Blanco on both IG and Twitter as Sir Denny Blanco. Find myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J, CRUZ on both IG and Twitter. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music, as well as youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcasts. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for the program. Also on TikTok at It's in the Game Pod. Also at Retro Room Pod. Give us a follow there because some of the highlights go on that TikTok as well. So Denny Blanco, we're taping this on Tuesday morning, May 30th. So right now we have the official NBA Finals matchup. The Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, the 8th-seeded Miami Heat, who won Game 7 last night in Boston. They become the second 8th seed team to make the NBA Finals. Just throwing a little trivia out there. Do you know who was the first 8th seed to make the NBA Finals?
I do not.
For real?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't. It's early in the morning. My brain.
The only 8th seeded team to make the NBA Finals. It happened 24 years ago.
24 years ago.
1999. Ain't that far.
How old was I? Oh, the New York Knicks. That's why you're looking at me
Come
like.
on, man.
That's why you're looking at me like, the New York Knicks like in the lockout season.
Yeah. So what? So what? And listen, we beat the number 1 Miami Heat.
Hey, man. We
beat I think it was Atlanta, and then we beat like the number 2 whatever Indiana Pacers.
Always goes back to the Knicks. God damn it!
All right. There's always a little New York Knicks Miami Heat tie-in somehow, some way. But congrats to Miami Heat. They are on the way to the NBA Finals. Before the series started. That's right. The Boston Celtics are now fishing. That's right. The team that you picked to win the conference finals. I told you don't be surprised if Miami wins. So I guess I got that. I'll claim it, whatever. But still. It went 7. They were up 3-0. They lost 3 in a row. And a lot of fans and people were thinking Boston might pull off the unthinkable of being the only team to come back from 3-0 and win the series. They did force a Game 7. But last night, I'm not sure if we got a chance to see a big portion of the game, but Tatum got hurt right away on the very first possession. Sprained ankle that kind of just hindered him the whole entire way. So that from that point on, it would just, you kind of felt it was going to be a long game for Boston because if their best player is not 100%, I don't know how they're going to beat that momentous team of the Miami Heat. And I think that he saw that. It was pretty close. Once you got to the second half, you start seeing this, big 15, 18-point lead, and Boston never really recovered. They got a great game from Jimmy Butler. Caleb Martin was looking like a young T-Mac out there. Like that was the guy that just you couldn't stop at all the entire series. So Denny Blanco, Miami Heat, NBA Finals. They kind of blow out Boston in Game 7 at home. Last year, Boston beat Miami in Game 7 in Miami. Now Miami beats Boston in Game 7 in Boston. So I got you last year. I got you this year. Any takeaways from this game? The whole entire Miami Heat run in the playoffs.
First and foremost, let me applaud the Miami Heat fans. You guys are now in the finals. To come back a year later from losing in the Eastern Conference Finals to now going to the NBA Finals. Hell of a job, Miami Heat. I'll start there. Give you the props because I picked the Boston Celtics with the two best players in the whole entire series. Brown and Tatum. Unfortunately, the two best players in this series played horrifically. I don't want to talk about injuries.
Right. But you got to bring it up.
Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo's playing with one arm. Kyle
There was no
Lowry's
no
hurt.
no Tyler Hero.
Kyle Lowry's hurt. Tyler Hero's out. So I don't want to hear about injuries. Malcolm Brogdon, yes, I believe if he's healthy, this is a different series, maybe. But he has like a broken tendon, something in his arm, shooting arm.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I think this game I saw him, but I was like, oh, how much is three? He gave us 7 minutes. So I don't want to talk about injuries. They happen. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. What it is. So I don't want to talk about injuries, but I do want to talk about the conversation that Inside the NBA had. Full disclosure, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Denny Blanco watched the first quarter of the Miami Heat game last night. Fell asleep,
Fell
woke
asleep.
up, fell asleep, woke up third quarter, middle of third. Miami's up by like 20. I said, wait, what? Game over. Click.
Listen, man, that's back-to-back games. You fell asleep early and you wake up and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck happened?
And literally,
Game 6-2.
literally, I'm like,
What's up, man? What's up?
I'm old. No, I'm old. So I'm sitting there, so I'm like, let me go look. Let me go read the box scores.
Mm-hmm.
Get a better idea of what's going on. All right. Jason Tatum scored 32 points, but shot 5 for 13. All NBA. Jalen Brown, 32 points, shot 8 for 23. Sorry, Tatum from the 3-point line, 1 for 4. Jalen Brown, 1 for 9.
And JB had like 8 turnovers too.
Oh, I didn't even get to the turnovers, baby.
Oh yeah, well,
Marcus Smart
you
had 2.
know.
Marcus Smart had 2. Jason Tatum had 2. White had 2. D. White had 2. Brown had 8. Brown had 8 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Boston Celtics, and I was talking about before I went into my visual of the game. The conversation inside the NBA game had Charles Barkley said,
Yeah.
Miami can't beat Boston, but Boston can let them. Miami can't beat Boston, but Boston can sure let them. As a team, Mr. Coach Mazzulla, and I go to you, Coach Mazzulla. That was the only worry Charles Barkley said, and I had worries too. I said, what team is going to show up? The team that shoots lights out and actually does work, or the team that literally just falls in love with the three? Reminds me of the Houston Rockets team that lost to the Golden State Warriors. Do you know, I forget, I'm sure people could look that up when they do. They shot abysmal.
Mm.
They shot abysmal from the 3-point line.
They took a lot of threes. They made very small amount. Because that was a team that relied on the 3-point shot. That was predicated throughout the whole season. 'Cause I think D'Antoni was still coaching at the time. Harden,
27
Chris
threes.
Paul.
They missed 27 straight threes. This is the
Yeah.
Rockets. Okay. These guys, the Boston Celtics, they asked them in the press conference after the game, Coach Mazzulla,
Yeah.
do you think your team shot too many threes? Because if you look at the comparison, Miami shot 28 threes, made 14.
And Boston shot like what, 40 something?
Boston 42 and made 9.
Damn.
Can I get some post-ups? Jason Tatum, your ankle hurt. What are you doing on the wing? What are you doing on the wing? If your ankle hurts, get in the post. Can I get some post-ups? Al Horford. They were getting it to him in the post a little bit. They were. But Al, the mismatches that I've seen on you, and all you gave me is 8 points.
Listen, Boston, again, I know it's game 7 home. It looked like both teams were struggling in the beginning to score the basketball. Which is that's how it is in the fucking game 7. Now everything tends to not go your way. But it was looking like an old '90s, early 2000s basketball, where it's like, yo, Boston had like 18 points with like 9 minutes ago in the second quarter. I'm like, yo, they can't score the fucking basketball.
Is back fourth and fourth, and the offense looks anemic. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. Boston is just straight up dribble, drive, kick, dribble, drive, kick, dribble, drive, kick, dribble, drive, kick. So Miami's like, oh, they're not taking any twos? No problem. Run them off the 3-point line. That's it.
Yeah,
Run them off the 3-point line. They're not going to take any twos. If you run them off the 3-point line, they're going to pump fake and then try to take another three on the side.
and Spo went zone on them too. You ain't making no threes. I'm gonna clamp right here and go into a fucking zone and
Thank
make
you. Do you
you
recall?
make a three.
Do you recall when he actually initiated the zone? The first time you saw it,
I think it was I think it was second quarter. I could be
sometime in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 2-3.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will correct us. No problem. 2-3 zone. Yes. And here's the thing. You already see they can't shoot. In a man-to-man. Eric Spoelstra's a bastard. He said, oh, y'all can't shoot in a man-to-man. Here's a zone, nigga. Shoot out of this.
Mm-hmm.
While I simultaneously rest my players. See? So even future, just thinking into the future of what they're going to do with that guy, big guy called Joker, he's going to see a lot of zone, I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boston Celtics.
So basically, what happened to Boston? Did you think they just rely on the 3-point shot too much?
Wasn't injuries. They played terrible defense and they died by the three. They played terrible defense and they died by the 3-point shot. They died by it. It is what it is. You can't shoot 9 for 42, and your best players are shooting terribly. And they're not getting easy shots. Jimmy's getting some. I've seen a lot of switching on Jimmy. So here comes the D White switch, bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Williams switch, bucket. Al Horford switch, bucket. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, guys?
I do want to go back to one thing. I got 2 points in my head, but something you said earlier, I want to make sure, because you said when you knew it was Boston, Miami, you said Boston had the 2 best players in the whole entire series, Jay Brown and Tatum.
Both NBA, all NBA.
So you were saying that from before Game 1. And obviously, when you see from Game 7, you might change your mind about who was the best player or who was the best players in the series, because Jimmy Butler is probably going to leap either above both of them or at least one of them, right?
I didn't expect, obviously, Jason to sprain his ankle.
Right.
It hindered him. But he was up and down all series. All series. Him and Brown and Tatum. They were up and down all series. They just, and obviously when they woke up, that was the thing I said. I said the games that Boston won convincingly, everybody played their game. Everybody
and they made shots. They made shots.
That's it. Everybody's playing their game. Everybody's making shots. But Boston Celtics can't win when their 2 best players are off. I think that's a fair question. Boston Celtics can't win when their 2 best players are off, because it's obviously there games you have to win when it's sloppy.
Yeah,
and there's some sloppiness going on. But damn, I mean, come on now, you 1 for 9, shit.
8 turnovers. I mean, speaking of the 2 best players, I think that the $1 million question going into the summertime that everybody's going to want the answers to is, what do you do with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? I think I've been seeing that for quite some time, couple months. Should they stay together? Will Boston break them up? Both are coming up on contract extensions. I think JB is in the realm of $290 plus. Jay Tatum is north of $300 million. I mean, listen, they went to the finals last year. They got to the conference finals this year.
What's the question?
Boston could say, listen, we're going to run it back. Give it 1 more year, maybe. I don't see why they should break it up. But on the flip side, as a fan, and maybe We just don't know if they get along. I don't know. But do you think Boston should run it back with both their best players together, or do you think what you saw last night was the final time we saw Tatum and Brown play together?
Could be the modern day Jordan and Pippen. Could possibly be. Do I think it's the last time they play together? No. I think Boston understands that all NBA players don't grow on trees, and you
Mm-hmm.
have two. You
In
max
their
them out
prime.
in their prime. You max them out. You max them out. There's nothing you can do. You max them out. You don't want to lose that momentum. And who's to say a couple more trades, a couple of healthy runs? Who's to say they're not back? But I don't get rid of Brown or Tatum as of yet. It's too early.
Okay. Um, I don't think they'll break them up.
No.
Again, everybody has bad games, whether it's a game one of the season or game seven of the fucking conference finals. It happens. They're still young. Again, Tatum was hurt. Bad game for Brown, but that I don't think that means they got to break up.
Let
And
me mention something too before we get out of here. Also,
yeah,
too, just to, as a I'm me sitting back and just thinking about Boston. Boston. So you lose. You get Malcolm Brogdon gets hurt, which
yeah,
clearly affects their bench and their output, which forces Derek White to play more minutes, which forces mismatches. So that was kind of plus minus, however you want to look at it, for Boston. Here's the funny thing with Miami. Funny. Weeks back, guys, ladies and gentlemen, me and Randy were going back and forth. It's like, well, Hero's hurt.
hmm
Hero's hurt. It's a lot of. That's a lot of, production.
yeah. We said Hero and Victor. I know Victor doesn't play as much, but still, he's a body.
I said here, Victor obviously wasn't getting. He wasn't getting the minutes that Hero was, but we Hero more than not, right? Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know. Hero may not even see the starting bench. He may not be a starter next year.
hmm
If Hero was a starter, I think Hero started. He ended up being a starter later on, or maybe he came off the bench. Either way, if Caleb Martin hasn't solidified his starting spot on Miami right now, we're talking about a G League player, and that's because Hero got hurt. He came up, took all his minutes. He's a G League player, non-drafted, 6'6", 6'7", long wingspan, can defend, can shoot the three off the dribble,
hmm
spotting up, and can handle the rock and can rebound and can defend three positions. He just
And
made himself some money.
gonna
Caleb Martin, you just made
paid a
yourself some
lot.
good money. You made yourself some good money, big boy.
Gonna get paid a lot. Caleb Martin. Like I said, I put on Twitter last night. Oh, I put a picture. Oh, looking like Orlando T Mac. I'm like, bro, your man could not miss a shot.
26-10, 26-10, and 26-10 and 3.
But it was the matter of the time that he made the shots.
Clutch,
Any
clutch,
run
clutch.
Boston had, Caleb
Clutch. Shut up. Shut up.
Caleb Martin,
Shut up.
Caleb Martin. Like, what's up, yo, Marcus Smart?
Shut
Yeah,
up.
all right, you know what? Caleb Martin, hold that.
Hold that. You're
And a
not
game that Bam wasn't doing too well. Butler
no.
Butler was solid. Um, and if again, I know you didn't see most of the game. Spoelstra didn't go to the bench like that. Those Duncan Robinsons, the Kevin Loves, like nah, fam. I'm playing. I look at it. He probably played 5, 6, 7 guys the most. Duncan Robinson got in later when they were
20
up
minutes for
15.
Duncan, 20 minutes for Duncan, 24 for Kyle Lowry, and then 9
And
for
Kyle
High.
Lowry.
Yeah, 9 for Highsmith.
Bro, I thought I barely saw Duncan Robinson. I was like, where is he?
Yeah.
I also was Gabe and these guys. I'm like, he's not playing the bench.
Duncan came in, gave you 2 for 3 from 3.
And they went like this to the crowd, like Hulk Hogan and shit. Up by 18.
Duncan
Yeah.
up by 18. He did that.
I think he made a three to go up by 15. Then he was like,
Duncan. No, you do that when you hit the open three last game.
Right,
Because
you make that.
listen,
There ain't no game 7.
if Boston wins, a lot of people, you look at all these plays. It's like, yo, Duncan Robinson missed two wide open threes.
So let me ask you a question. In hindsight, before I move on, if Boston would have lost Game 6, there's no Derek White shot. Like Jimmy
Sure.
hit the three free
Yeah,
throws, they try to
Miami
make a
wins.
shot, they
Huh?
miss.
Hmm.
Miami wins.
Hmm.
Do you not saying feel better, but do Boston fans feel a little different, like losing Game 7 at home, getting smoked, or like, damn, we lost the fucking buzzer. You know
If
what?
I had to
I feel
choose,
proud of my team.
if I had to choose, I'm not a Boston Celtics fan, but Boston Celtics fans, I think you would much rather have lost in Miami than lose at home by that many.
Hmm.
It's embarrassing. You're at home. Game 7. You'd much rather lose on the road away with the Marcus Smart 3 miss, game over at Miami. To lose at home the way you did, and then Tatum gets hurt, and you guys keep missing these 3-point shots instead of just trying to drive in a hole, which Derek White started to do a little bit. Put his head down, go straight to the hole. What if Missoula just straight up was like, "Yo, listen, stop shooting threes.
Hmm.
No threes. Everybody, go to the hole. Go to the hole."
Well, I think they were trying to, I wouldn't say match, but I think that's what Miami was doing. Miami was relying on the 3-point shots because they got the 3-point shooters. And like they'll go down low, yeah. But when you got Gabe and Caleb and Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson shooting
See,
threes.
but that's the difference. You just mentioned it. That's the difference. Martin, excuse me. Let me stop. Let me back up. Smart, Tatum, White, Brown, Horford. These guys can hit threes. Do you
But they're
call them
not
3-point shooters?
they're not
No.
snipers.
No. Go to Miami. Sure, Jimmy can hit threes. Is he a 3-point shooter? No. You have Duncan Robinson for that. You got Strauss for that. You got Cal Lowry for that. You got Gabe Vincent for that. Guys, it's like, no. I do this. I shoot threes. This is what I shoot threes. Like, this is what I get paid money for, to shoot threes. Other than that, so yeah, Jimmy Butler will happily get a switch, see Williams, work him on the wing by himself, go to his spot, pull up, 2-pointer. He's not forcing a three. Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Step back 3. In
Mhm.
and out, in and out, in and out. Step back 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Jaylen Taylor again. Tatum, you're 6'7". Who's guarding you at
Mhm.
times? You got Butler on you at times. You got Martin on you at times. But when you get the switch, your Vincent, your Strauss is on you, right to the paint.
Mhm.
Go to the hole. But that didn't happen. So it is what it is. Miami, Denver. I'm going to watch the finals because I'd like to see how Miami is going to solve the problem, which is the Joker.
They may not have an answer, so Joker might have to have a real bad series for the Miami to have a chance.
I have a
If you
strategy.
if you're Spoelstra,
Yeah.
the report is now Tyler Hero is aiming for Game 3 to come back. Now, what you've been seeing from what Miami has been doing,
Mhm.
how do you incorporate Tyler Hero into this
Tyler,
offense?
Tyler, come off the bench. You good. Just come off the
Yeah,
bench.
off the bench.
Yeah, you good. You all right. Come off the bench. Just do what you normally do. You know what I mean? Your energy when it comes to your conditioning may take some time. But other than that, yeah, come off the bench. We got everything covered. We good. That's
Mhm.
extra. That's extra. But the bottom line is this. Miami's gonna have to play a lot of zone against that big freak, which is Joker. They're gonna have to play a lot of zone. They can't man him. Bam wouldn't listen. Bam has nothing. Bam has nothing for that man. So they're gonna if they leave Bam by himself, Eric Spoelstra just basically wrote Bam's obituary. Here lies Bam Adebayo, the guy who tried to guard Joker, but failed miserably. Zone. A lot of zone. 1-3, 1-3, 1, 2-3, boxing 2. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of zone.
I'm trying to see real quick, like who in their regular season matchups. I got it. So Denver won the first game. Jokic had 27, 12, and 8. Bam had 19, 2, and 2. But Jimmy had 24, 10, and 9. Denver did win that game in February. And then Denver did win also in December by 5. Bam, 22, 7, and 2. Tyler Hero, 26, 10, and 5. So, all right. Jokic, 19, 12, and 12. So, I
Triple
mean,
dub.
listen, I think I know, and I say this. Obviously, the network's first choice was Celtics Lakers. I get that. Celtics Lakers, my first choice from the networks. Give me Boston, LA. Sorry, both are out. You're getting Miami and Denver instead. That doesn't mean that you won't have a good series. Now, I guess they fear the whole world watching because it's two very pretty like, small market. Miami's a semi big market, but not as New York or LA or Boston. But I think you're gonna get. I got Denver winning, but I think it could be 6. I hope it goes 6, but I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout, kind of like destroying of a matchup. I think you're prepared for a really tough series right now.
Sweep.
You got a sweep. Listen, man. You for the record, man. You've used that word quite a few times, and you're like 0-3. So
Have
let's
I?
let's rewind. Are you
Have
sure?
I?
Yeah, you said Cavs were going to sweep the Knicks. That didn't happen. You said
Hmm. Hmm.
someone in the second round was going to sweep somebody. Didn't happen.
Hmm.
And now we're here, NBA Finals. Now you're saying Denver's
Hey,
going to sweep Miami.
Cleveland was a disappointment, to be honest. That doesn't happen really. Made a mistake on Donovan Mitchell. Sorry about that. Never again. After further review, yeah, I don't see this Miami team beating this Denver team once.
Not
Not on
one
the
time.
road, not at home, not once. No, I think it's going to be a sweep. I think it's going
Or
to
a
be.
gentleman's sweep. You saying 5 the most?
I didn't mention any gentlemen in this conversation.
Okay, all
They're
right.
all no. There've been no stand up guys in this conversation. 4-0, no gentlemen. We're going to put Aaron Gordon on Jimmy. We're going to put Michael Porter Jr. on Jimmy. Huh? Jimmy. Long. Athletic.
Mm.
Huh? Okay? Caleb Martin. You're going to have some work cut out for you, okay? You know, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be some Michael Porter Jr., some work.
Right.
It's going to be some work from Aaron Gordon down the
Mm.
post. You're going to be, and I know this is going to sound crazy,
Mm.
in basketball terms,
Yeah.
you're going to be shifted from left to right. You're going to have some backdoor action. Basketball. Back doors. Okay. You're not going to know what's going on in this offense, Miami, because it's going to be the movement's going to be so crisp. Okay. By the time Eric Spoelstra realizes what's going on, it's going to be 3-0.
3-0. Wow.
Okay. That Denver
Okay.
offense is not to be messed with. Shout out to Jamal Murray. Cuckoo. You mean to tell me? Shout out to Gabe Vincent. Yo, Gabe Vincent had to be guarding Derek White. Who else Gabe Vincent had to guard? He had to guard Derek White. The series before, Miami had to play who they played.
New York.
They played New York. Who he got? I mean, he didn't have to guard
Right.
Brunson.
Quickly.
He had to guard quickly, but quickly was hurt.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, Miami. Technically, on the East, you really didn't have to face a tough point guard. Is that fair to say? On the
I
East
mean,
side,
Milwaukee.
Miami.
Drew Holiday in round 1.
Drew was on an interview, looked in the camera, and said, "Yo, I had nothing for Jimmy Butler." I could not defend him, which affected his offense because he was so
Mm-hmm.
tired defending Jimmy. Guys, Jamal Murray's a problem. Okay,
Facts.
and and that's why I'm saying 4-0 sweep, because pick your poison. Either you're gonna either you're gonna worry about that joker down in the post or the high post, or you're just gonna leave Jamal Murray open for threes. Now, Jamal Murray's not the only one who can shoot threes now. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., you leave
Mm-hmm.
him out there. Oh, shout out to Bruce Brown. He's going to get some work down there too as well, on the baseline, in
Yeah.
that zone, if you will. If you want to do that
KCP.
zone. KCP can hit some open threes now.
Mm-hmm.
KC, we go Jimmy,
Yeah, Jimmy can guard everybody, bro.
Jimmy. Talk to me. You hear me, Joe? So I'm
Yeah.
just like, yo, Jimmy can only guard a couple people. So it's Caleb Martin. So pick your poison now. You gonna leave KCP, Jamal Murray, or Michael Porter Jr. open? Which one you gonna do? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Eric Spoelstra, coach. This is gonna be a coaching. You're gonna earn this coaching series. You're gonna earn it. If you beat Mike Malone, shout out to Mike Malone. You beat Mike Malone in this series,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be one of the greatest. I mean, you're already being called one of the greatest coaches of all time. But this will solidify. This will certify. Eric, come out and play.
I mean, I got Spo in top 10 anyway. So whether he loses or wins tonight, the series, look at the resume, and you look at the current landscape. Who's the best coaches in the NBA today? Spo, Pop, Kerr. He's been to multiple conference finals, NBA finals. He got chips. He's been to the finals with LeBron and without LeBron and Wade. So it's like most would say, oh, once LeBron and Wade left, I don't see Miami getting back there. You say, you know what? Been there twice.
To be honest with you, I think the argument can be made too. Before we get out of here, when it comes to coaches, an argument can be made that if you leave a solid coach where he is, it's better for your organization. But not too many organizations believe that. So you look at San Antonio Spurs, you look at obviously Golden State. Steve Kerr is an offshoot of Greg Popovich. So also too, you have
and Spo was off of Pat Riley, and
there you go, Budenholzer off of the tree of
wasn't it Pop or no?
Pop, yeah, Pop as well. So these guys, I mean, obviously these guys, I don't think Budenholzer should have lost his job in Milwaukee. It happens, but yeah, you tenure means something. As long as because I saw an article, Pat Riley said, I don't fire my coaches on the suggestion of a player. That's what he said. Because he's been through some things. He's gotten jobs based on players firing, getting their coaches, the coaches on the team. He's been on the team as an assistant, and he's gotten to be a head coach based on what the players feel. So it's interesting that he says that. However, it comes down to Spoelstra having respect of the organization first, and then the players being able to come there and be coached. That's why you have the organization that you have. When you have players that can do what they want in an organization, you have the Nets. You have the Knicks before the Knicks are the Knicks now. You have examples of organizations letting the players make the decisions on coaches, what they want to do. Players are coming in, and then you see the end result. What has transpired when the players have been running it? What has transpired?
Nothing. Like just no wins, and I think that kind of signifies the Miami Heat culture. And I think it's just when you go there, listen. That's why Kevin Love went to Miami. He was a free agent. He got cut, whatever from Cleveland. You pick anywhere you want to go. I'll go to Miami because it's a winning culture, a great coach. You got great players on the roster. You got great teaching methods from up top with Pat Riley. It's like, if I had to pick somewhere, I would probably pick Miami. Obviously, it's Miami, but it just the lineage of that franchise of like you come here and you could become the best you can be without the bullshit on the outside. You ain't get. We're not taking all that. If that's what you want to do, don't come here. So it's already programmed for the current players and the players outside looking in like, damn, if I go to Miami, I got to do my work.
You
I can't
understand
bullshit
too.
no more.
You no BS. Follow this. There was a fight in Miami, which I thought would mess up the team. Haslam literally threatened Jimmy Butler, and they were going to fight. They didn't, but they were going to fight. It's like, yo, let's go
Yeah,
outside.
Jimmy got mad at Spoelstra in the huddle. I'm like, okay, well, what's up?
Yeah, you want to fight? Oh, okay, we can
Yeah,
just. I mean,
but
listen,
I'm not gonna suspend you. I'm not gonna
no, we're not gonna. Yeah,
no.
we're not. I'm
Keep it
not.
in house and we keep moving.
Yeah, you want to fight? Let's just fight and just keep it going. Like, excuse me, hello? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no problem. On the other side, Golden State, where literally days before Steve Kerr opens his mouth, it is documented. I asked a Golden State Warrior fan, shout out to Ben, right?
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, I said, yo, what's the biggest thing that cost the Golden State Warriors their season? He said the fight between Draymond and Jordan Poole. Days later, Kerr said the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the difference in the handling of both. There was a leakage.
Yeah.
Draymond Green rubs people the wrong way. So in the same token as Steve Kerr saying we need him to win a championship, he has to understand he rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
On the other side, Eric Spoelstra's like, yeah, Jimmy's just being Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's being Jimmy. Udonis just wants Jimmy to be better. And Jimmy's just like, yo, yeah, from my schooling of basketball, whether he's in Minnesota or Philly, teams that didn't want him, he literally just wanted accountability. He said, I came from a school where, Derrick Rose and these guys would just straight up be like, yo, you're not in a position. What the F are you doing? Get it together. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. Then he goes to these teams and it's just like, Minnesota, lazy. He goes to 76ers, lazy. And then the 76ers say, yeah, we much rather have Tobias Harris
Over me?
than Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
You could have had Jimmy Butler, James Harden, and Embiid on one team.
Maybe.
Who made that decision in Philly?
Maybe.
Who?
It wasn't me and you. It wasn't the guy that's there now. Who's the guy from the Rockets? Daryl Morey. It wasn't. I don't think it was him. Listen,
No, it was before him.
You had
It was
Embiid,
before him.
Jimmy, and a healthy Ben Simmons at the time too, before Harden. Imagine if Ben had Jimmy Butler, keep him accountable, and anyway, that's a different story, different day.
It's a story for a different day. Yep.
Denny Blanco, find him on Twitter and IG at Sir Denny Blanco. Find myself, Rainy J. Cruz, R-E-N-D-Y, letter J, C-R-U-Z. You find the podcast audio on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Video on youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for the program. Also, follow us on TikTok at It's in the Game Pod. Also, Retro Room Pod. Hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking. For Denny Blanco, myself, Randy Cruz, It's in the Game Podcast. NBA Finals start this Thursday. Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets. We out.
It's in the game 1 year.